Maybe a little different video, break from the gardening. One of my other hobbies, I guess you'd say, is knife making. And today I'm starting to work on this Tanto blade. It's got a sort of a narrow handle and then a nice big 1.5 inch Tanto blade on it. Just so you get an idea, like I'll probably have the bevel look like that. So anyway, it'll be nice. I've got everything I need. I've got my gloves. We've got my hearing protection. I've got my angle grinder. I'll use this clamp here to clamp the knife to the workbench so I can cut the steel. I use the angle grinder to cut away most of the steel that I need to get rid of, and then I'll come over to my bench grinder at my Harbor Freight Special, and I will actually use that to grind the bevels into the knife. Using this, it takes a long time. I won't lie to you. It's not the optimum piece of equipment for knife making, but it's what I've got and what I use. And then what I'll do is put a different belt on here because I think this is the 120 grit, and I need an 80 grit belt. So anyway, I just sort of taking you along for the ride. I'm probably not going to show you all the steps. I just sort of, you'll have to use your imagination. But anyway, I just wanted to get a video out this week, and it's been a while since I posted, so here it goes. All right, so you can see I've cut the handle out. I'll come back in here with a grinder, a flap disc grinder, and round that out. I've got the point cut. Last thing I have to do is cut this end off. That should be pretty simple. But anyway, it's starting to take shape, if you will. I'll get my blank, and we'll move on from there. So one of the things I've done on my angle grinder is I actually attach the wrench for the removal of this to the power cord, so it's sort of a safety feature. I can't change tools with this plugged in, which is a good thing. You don't want to have, if you accidentally initiate it while you're working on it, you can injure yourself. So I've attached mine with the prusik to the cord, so I have to unplug it to do tool changes. And with the angle grinder, it's pretty simple. There's a lock on the back. You push that in, loosen the tool up, and then you can remove your cutter. So I'm all done with the angle grinder. I'm all done with the cutting wheel. Now I need the flat grinder. I'll pull one of those out and show you. Here's a brand new 80 grit. This is a pretty aggressive cutter. So I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna zip this up just so we don't catch any sparks in it. And then you just flap that down on there. Replace your nut, or whatever you want to call it. Nice and tight, and then we're ready to go. So one important thing to remember when grinding a knife, I've started just a little bit, you can sort of start to see the bevel take place there, is temperature. If the knife gets too hot when you're grinding it, you can burn the tip, or untemper the metal, I guess you say. Once you've done that, you've ruined it. So that's why I've got a bucket of water here, and as I grind away on the knife, as it warms up, I'll cool it off by dipping it in the water. That's about that. So one of the harder things to do is to get the bevels to match up. It's a matter of holding the knife at the same angle both sides and doing it just the right amount so that you get even bevels. And this one turned out so far, it's doing all right. You can see I've got a little bit of I got to straighten this out a little bit. I've got 2 different bevels. There's a line right there, and so I've got to straighten that out. And then let's see over here. It's got a little bit of one right there, so we'll have to straighten that out. But it's coming along. It's just a matter of holding it straight. Anyway. Granted, this would go a lot quicker if I had a knife maker's grinder. One of the big things with a lot of speed to it, but I'm starting to come along. The knife's already sort of rusting up from the water and everything, but you can sort of see the progress I'm making. I mean, it won't be a pretty knife. It won't be super pretty. There's like this, I can't get the bevel to. I'm trying to get the bevel out to it, but I think the angles are wrong. So, like there, I'm off by 1 millimeter or 2. I might be able to do that. Might be able to get it ground down, but it's a work in progress. And so there should be one Tanto blade knife. Now the next thing I'll have to do, and probably the next day I work on this, is drill some holes. 2 holes here for the pins that'll hold the handle in place. I'll also have to go back over this with finer and finer grit sandpaper until I get a nice mirror finish on it. Once I've got a nice finish on it, I'll heat treat it and then refinish it, because you'll get like some scale buildup on there. So you have to come back over. It's not as much treatment, but I mean not as much work, but you have to get rid of that blackness, I guess you'd say. And then temper it in the oven, and finally we'll go and sharpen it to a razor's edge. Anyway, so that's knife making fun. I'm DarkStrider. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Just a little bonus. I got myself a vise, and it is a combination vise. So it has pipe clamps on the bottom, or pipe grippers on the bottom, and you can see right here, you loosen this up, and you can flip it over. I thought that was pretty neat. And then it's got all that kind of fun stuff. I'm not sure how much I'll use it, but if I ever need to, I'll be glad I got it. Anyway, just a little extra.